This is The Launch, episode 45 for December 9th, 2025. Streaming from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty American West Coast, we greet you all. Good morning, good evening, or whenever your timeline may fall. Time-appropriate greetings, indeed, one and all. This is The Launch. My name is Chris.
And I'm Angela.
Hello, Angela. Well, we've got a few things to let everybody know before we kick off. We'd love it if you called us. You can do it while you listen live or while you listen to the podcast. After the fact, sure. Right now, sure. I don't care. Just dial 774-462-5667. That's 774-462-5667. You can also join us live on a Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. UTC, 37:30 p.m. Nope.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you could do like the fine print of any medication.
Go get your Microsoft toys. Go get your toys. I could do like maybe an announcer guy. No, it's 7:30 p.m. UTC at jblive.tv, podcasting 2.0 app choice. There you go.
Auctioneer.
And I invite all of you, of course, to check out our show notes at weeklylaunch.rocks, where you'll find our chat room. We have a mumble room going. Hello, everybody up there in the quiet listening. Nice to have you joining us today. Kind of like our live vibe crew in there. Appreciate that. And that's all, of course, weeklylaunch.rocks. And this is episode 45 if you're looking for today's links. Well, Angers, it's been a little bit of migraine madness, I hear.
It has,
Not
yes.
good news. Just what you want on the holidays, right?
It is exactly what I want on the holidays. Actually, so the good news is it's predictable, right?
Oh, what do you mean when you say predictable, like you can tell it's coming? Or like it's like going to be on this day?
It definitely comes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I'd like to do is just crowdsource a solution for my migraine. It is seemingly hormonal because it is around, my cycle. But it seems to be getting like longer and longer. It used to be maybe 6 to 10 hours. It would onset around 1 p.m. in the afternoon and then just get like really bad and peak right as I was going to bed and then make going to bed really difficult. But then I would wake up and I'd be fine. Well, this one started Sunday night. I thought maybe it was the Fireball that I drink, but it was the normal amount that I drink every Sunday. So I don't know, but it seemingly made it worse. It did not start to leave until this morning. And now it's actually doing okay.
Wait, it started Sunday and today's Tuesday.
Yeah, right. It was, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it's getting longer and longer. It kind of sucks, but I don't know. Like ibuprofen typically doesn't do anything. I end up like wanting sugar, caffeine, chocolate. Those are all things that could potentially help a headache, but not necessarily a migraine.
Don't even make a dent? Or
eating. No, nothing makes a dent. And it's really frustrating. But it does come every single, approximately 26 to 28 days. I am always so glad to have it over with because it's just so hard to be productive or do anything.
Jeez, it must be kind of dreadful knowing it's coming, though. It's like it's coming.
Yeah. Well, this one came so early. That's why I was like, this must be because of alcohol, not because of my cycle. But no, I guess my cycle is coming early.
I mean, people must have experience with migraines out there.
Oh,
right?
I was going to say, no auras. I don't have like the light.
The light aura thing.
But I do have light, sound, and smell sensitivity.
Yeah.
That comes with this. And it's just, it just sucks. I am a very productive person. I like to be efficient and get things done.
You get knocked out.
And
Yeah.
I'm in it. And now it's just getting longer and longer. Like,
no, can't, no, this far, no further.
So I will throw it out there that it might be related to endometriosis. So if anybody does have like insight when it comes to that connection, it could be that. But I've never been treated for endometriosis, and I canceled that exploratory surgery when Bella stopped breastfeeding because that solved that issue. But then that's when the migraine started.
The migraine one's hard. I bet there's got to be somebody out there. If you could boost in or call and leave us a voicemail, give us some tips, like things you've done, how you tracked it down, treatments.
Yeah, because I've gone to 2 different naturopaths. I have tried. I got up to like 35 pills a day, trying to clean out my cardiovascular system, my liver, my spleen, digestive enzymes. Like I did the whole natural route to try to resolve this. I've got my iron up, also ferritin stores. Like, there's so many things that I've tried to even just reduce the scope of it, and it's just getting worse.
Yeah, if you could even just dial it down.
Yeah, just less hours.
Yeah, boy.
Would be great.
That would be that's something, too, that if you have any insights on that, I think there's other people listening, too, that would probably also really appreciate that. So boost in, give us a call. And I also have a question for you. A little bit on the wild side. What's something you do that you don't recommend anyone else do? So, your ultimate don't do as I do. We got one call this week.
Completely unrelated to migraines, right?
Right.
Like
I'm just curious because everybody has one of these double standards where if you were giving advice, you tell somebody, do it this way. But then when you do it yourself, you cut a corner or you don't follow that advice. Everybody has these things.
Oh, man, it's really hard, though, to think about.
I know. So think
about it. Do you have one?
I mean,
are you going to share it when we get to voicemails?
Well, no, it's. I have to think about it.
Is it your whole life?
It's a lot of my life. Yeah. I mean, really, let's look at my life. Yeah. Don't do as I do.
Yeah.
All right. So let us know migraine. Any info you have on the fixes, causes, things you've done to mitigate it. Boost in with that. Give us a call. Or what's your ultimate don't do as I do? All right, Andrews. I want to talk about Apple for a moment.
Okay. Oh.
Have you heard about the massive reckoning that's happening over at Apple recently?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, so a sudden wave of executive departures has been ripping through Apple in just the last couple of weeks. And I've never said something like this before, but I think it's fair to say this is probably the biggest change up at Apple in leadership since Steve Jobs died in 2011. Ooh. I mean, it's massive. Mm-hmm. So AI chief out, interface design head out, who's Alan Dye, he's been around forever. General counsel out, environmental and policy VP out, and then also a few other rumors that we're going to get on. And some of these positions, mind you, are massive paid positions that got poached by Meta.
So, I was just going to say they're starting their own competing.
Well, they kind of are in a way, yeah. So but some of them are getting fired. There's a lot going on here, and I think maybe what's actually happening isn't super obvious. But I'm going to play this quick Yahoo Finance clip because he just rattles off the names here, and I think it's kind of useful just so we have this for the record here.
Jeff Williams, who was supposed to be the front runner to be CEO, he's retiring. Head of Government Affairs, Lisa Jackson, she's leaving. General Counsel Kate Adams, she's leaving. Alan Dye, one of the heads of design, he's going to Meta, getting poached. And then their AI chief is also retiring. I think there's a number of factors here. Some of the people who are...
We'll pause there. So I wanted him to get through kind of quickly who's all going. This is not like a small thing. This isn't just like a little change. I have in the show notes, if you're interested, a visual that Bloomberg posted that really demonstrates the scale. Look at that. I mean, for Ann, she's here in studio with me. She can see this. I mean,
yeah.
And you can see how many of them are going to Meta.
Wow.
Yeah. Meta's soaking up quite a few people from Apple, especially people that worked on AI. So there's that whole thing going on here. And then the really, really big news was it sounded like the guy behind the M1 chips and Apple's probably most successful thing they've done during Tim Cook's era had informed Tim Cook that he's also considering leaving Apple.
Another report now saying a key Apple hardware executive is considering leaving the company. Steve Kovac joins us now with more. Hey, Steve.
Yeah, it just keeps piling on, right? You have all these big shots out there in Cupertino. They're getting new careers for the holidays, and there have been several changes in the last 7 days on top of several departures over the last few months. Now, the latest after last week's exodus is chip boss Johnny Srouji. He wants to leave, according to Bloomberg. He's been instrumental in ditching Intel chips at Apple. You can kind of think of him as the Johnny Ive of chip design. It would be a huge loss for the company. He's one of those sort of singular talents over there. And look, these shakeups that we keep hearing
about. Now, I'd say this was the one that really spooked everybody. Oh, no, the M chip guy, he might be leaving. That I thought, okay, that is really, really bad. But that happened on a Friday. And then by Monday, first thing Monday, they were trying to squash the chip guy leaving rumors. Apple was trying to tighten up the narrative a little bit after it ran wild over Saturday and Sunday.
Another new report on what's happening in the top levels at Apple. Steve Kovac has that story for us. Hey, Steve.
Yeah, Mike, lots of changes there. And by the way, this is all after lots of big shots in Cupertino have been getting those new careers for the holidays. Several changes have been happening in just the last 7 days on top of several departures over the last few months. Now, someone not leaving, that would be chip boss Johnny Srouji. Now, let me give you a little drama that happened over the weekend. Bloomberg reported that he had told Tim Cook he wants to step down from his role. But this morning, he told staff in a memo he's not leaving anytime soon. That's according to the full email that I saw that just got sent out moments ago. That would have been a big loss because Srouji has been instrumental in ditching Intel chips over at Apple. You could kind of think of him as the Johnny Ive of chip design. But look, some of these shakeups that have been happening over the last several days, it's really to meet the AI moment. The world has been changing around Apple over the last few years as it kept things mostly the same. Now, next year is going to be a monumental one for Apple after it failed to deliver on AI this year with that Siri update that was supposed to happen in the spring. And they have to get that one right. Now, AI boss John Giannandrea, he was stepping down last week, and those AI teams that he was once overseeing have been reorganized to make all of that happen. And that needs to work before they can launch AI-powered products like those rumored glasses and a smart home product next year. On top of all that, you have Apple's 50th anniversary coming up in April, a looming antitrust trial, and so much more. Now, there's different things.
It is fascinating. And a lot of people are coming to the conclusion that, well, this is sort of a response to not really getting any traction with any AI product. And I don't know if 100%, I think that is partially true. But in a weird way, Apple missing this hype train on AI means that they didn't really footgun themselves too bad. I mean, they have Apple Intelligence, but you don't really have to use it. It doesn't really get in your way. And they didn't really embarrass themselves with some really they kind of embarrassed themselves, but they didn't embarrass themselves financially by investing, $40 billion just into something that just went nowhere like they did with their car product for a while. But it does seem like this is probably some fallout around all of the AI stuff. But I have a different theory, Andrews. My theory is Tim Cook is cleaning house. I think you've got a few of these folks that are retiring. They're rich as hell. They don't need any more money. And it's time for some fresh blood. These guys have been rich for so long at Apple that they've kind of lost touch. And I've been making this complaint for a while. Now, some of them legitimately got poached by Meta. Others, I think, are also being shown the door. Mm-hmm. They're being fired in a kind of a nice way. And now we have a new head of AI coming in who comes from Microsoft. And this is all after Tim Cook has been CEO for 14 years. It's been 14 years since Steve Jobs died, a little over 14 years. And during Cook's reign, Apple became one of the most valuable companies in the world, exceeding $3 trillion. But he's 65 years old, and it's probably time for him to think about when he'll move on. Now, he's kind of dodged this question. Here he was talking to Wired a year ago, and the question of when he'll retire comes up. And it was already brewing in the background a year ago when this question came up. And Tim's answer, not super committal.
You're the CEO. You've been here for a while. How long do you see yourself continuing this role?
Oh, I don't know. I get asked that question now more than I used to.
Why is that?
As I age, as my hair turns gray. I love this place, Steve. Mm-hmm. I love it. Mm-hmm. And I love the people I work with. It's the privilege of a lifetime to be here. And I'll do it until the voice in my head says it's time. Mm. And then I'll go and focus on what the next chapter looks like.
I'm not so sure it's actually the voice in his head that'll be telling him when it's time, or maybe if it's just when the board tells him, hey, you need to start a transition plan because we need to change things up. A little bit before all these layoffs happened, the Financial Times carried a story that the board was intensifying their search for a replacement for Tim Cook.
Apple is stepping up its succession plans as it prepares for CEO Tim Cook to step down as soon as next year. That's according to a report in the Financial Times, which cited several people familiar with discussions. The report said that John Ternus, Apple's senior vice president of hardware engineering, is widely seen as Cook's most likely successor. Apple insiders were quoted as saying the company's board and senior executives had recently intensified plans for Cook to hand over the reins after more than 14 years at the helm. The report also said that Apple is unlikely to name a new CEO before its next earnings report in late January, which covers the critical holiday period. Cook became CEO in 2011 after Silicon Valley legend Steve Jobs resigned, ending his reign at the tech giant he co-founded in 1976 in his parents' garage. Apple did not immediately respond to a Reuters request for comment. Shares of Apple were down as much as 2% in Monday morning trading.
And actually interesting, after Apple announced the layoffs, shares price started going back up.
Mm-hmm.
So share price, when that rumor came out, started to go down. And I think perhaps that tells us that the market likes to see Apple cleaning up a little bit and making preparation changes. Now, take this with a grain of salt, but the Kashi market prediction for when Tim Cook leaves Apple is 45% betting odds before 2027, 20% betting odds before July of 2026. And I'm not saying it's going to be that soon, but this is my theory, is that it is time for Tim Cook to wind things down, to get a new CEO in there. But like Apple does all things, they're going to try to manage and control this and plan this the best they can. An Apple product rollout takes multiple years of development, and this they're going to treat like a product rollout. And they've already begun working on it, and part of it is to get some distance and get this stuff in place to get these new leaders a chance to start building while Tim's still there. And then when he transitions out, they're already running. They've already got everything up and going that they need. I mean, at 48% odds that he leaves Apple before 2027, that's nothing to sneeze at. And he did tell AppleTrack, noted this. He did tell one agency, I think a year ago or so, that he plans to retire in at least 10 years. I think it's going to be a lot sooner than that. I don't know. As somebody who's been a long time Apple user, but not necessarily like, a fan or somebody who's like, you have people that are just, they buy everything Apple makes, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not you. I mean, you'll buy a good iPhone, you'll buy a good occasional Apple Watch. Maybe once a decade, you get yourself a laptop.
Right. Only once the battery is trying to break out of the shell.
What is your impression of Apple over the last couple of years? Do you feel like they're stagnant and boring? Is that exactly what you want from them?
I feel like there hasn't been a whole lot of innovation. You know, they are improving upon each of their products, but not in an amazing way. And it feels like there's software glitches.
Yeah.
Like way too many software glitches.
Yeah. That is true. I think in a way it's
as a user,
like but you're going to buy an iPhone either way.
Yeah.
Like they're in this interesting position where maybe they don't make $1 trillion a year, but they're always going to sell millions of iPhones. So they just almost can't lose if they just get the business right.
Mm-hmm.
But I do agree, like they're slipping on software quality, especially on macOS, in my opinion. That's really where it's gotten bad. And
yeah, I wait so long to do the OS updates on my Macs.
And it's a real shame, right? Because they've nailed some of the hardware. Mm-hmm. And while their hardware is kind of at the peak of its game, the software has really been slacking. And then they really have not come up with anything interesting and meaningful with AI. They've done a lot of interesting infrastructure stuff. Like they have this private cloud compute where you can send off AI jobs and supposedly they can't associate it with you in any way. And even if the FBI came knocking and stole all of the server racks, they couldn't put together who submitted the AI job. That kind of stuff is interesting and it's a good idea for the industry. And then also essentially making local inference and local AI processing available on device via an API. So as a developer, you can just say, hey, system, go generate me an image. And then the system comes back with an image and you don't have to write any of the image generation code. It's AI, LLM crap and Stable Diffusion stuff on demand. And Apple handles if it's an on-device thing. Apple handles if it gets punted to private cloud. Apple handles if it gets punted to OpenAI. You just make a call for the image and you get your image. Or you just make a call for text summary and you get your text summary as a developer. And then they build these things in a way that actually makes them fairly straightforward for developers to implement in a way that's actually usable by end users. So it would be interesting to see Apple have their game together on this. I don't know if we get there with the current crop of leadership. And I don't think this house cleaning was enough because these are the same people that brought us the Butterfly keyboard. These are the same people that just really blew the Mac for years. I think they're kind of out of touch. And, I got a lot of respect for Tim Cook, but I think, like you say, they haven't innovated a lot. The Apple Vision Pro was an absolute obvious flop before they even announced it. A $3,000 VR headset right as inflation was exploding. Are you joking?
Yeah.
Are you serious right now? Apparently they were.
Ooh, pro tip, though, for VR. If you have a membership to like the YMCA, rent out their racquetball room.
Oh, yeah. Make yourself a VR room.
Yeah.
That is a good pro tip right there. That is a good pro tip. So I think Apple is probably just fine. Everybody's freaking out. Apple's falling apart. Oh, it's a rotten to the core situation. This is the beginning of a routine succession. And they're going to have to make some internal adjustments so that way when the new boss comes in, all the lieutenants are all sorted out. That's what we're doing right now. We're sorting out the lieutenants so that way when we get a new boss, everybody's on the same page. And maybe we'll see something interesting next year from Apple on this. I don't know, but I'd like to know what you think. So boost in, tell me if you think we're going to see Apple actually do anything in the AI space next year. That, I think, is left to be seen, but I'd like to know your thoughts.
Well, I'm just going to make a quick call to my launch. I haven't checked in since yesterday. 774-462-5667. That's it. All right. 774-462-5667. Call now.
All right, we'll be playing your voicemails. We have 11 voicemails today.
That's crazy.
So we have plenty of voicemails, but that means we're going to need a whole new batch next week. So as you're listening to our Song of the Week, you can call in and leave a voicemail. Or if you're listening live, say hi in the chat room, jump in the Mumble Room. And of course, I do have something very special for you. I'm not going to do this very often. Not going to get carried away. But how neat is it that there is actually brand new, fresh, value for value Christmas music? I know. Hold on. Don't freak out. Stick with me for a second.
I'm excited.
It's not that bad, actually.
Oh,
I know. Well, some people hear that, especially if they don't celebrate Christmas. You probably think,
oh, okay.
Right? But how neat is this, right? These are people that are creating music. They're putting it out there for free. And if you like it, you can boost in. And 95% of your sats will go to the artist.
Now's the time. It's the Song of the Week. Remember, you can boost the track. They sure like that.
All right. This week, it's Man, It's Christmas by Jamie Bratcher.
Snow is flying, man, it's cold. It's in the air, everywhere I go. It's a crazy time of the year. Man, it's Christmas. Family's coming from out of town. Mama's cooking, so look out now. It's the best time of the year. Man, it's Christmas. Presents, mangers, and mistletoe, stocking trees and lights that glow, turkey dressing and all that stuff. I know for sure I'm gonna eat too much. Married Jesus and three wise men, Joseph, angels at Bethlehem. Come on, let's celebrate. Man, it's Christmas. Your blues for some Christmas cheer. Come on, let's celebrate. Man, it's Christmas. On Christmas Day, tearing paper and ribbons flying. I hope they dig what I've been buying. My card is maxed, but I don't care. I'll pay the bill sometime next year. Come on, let's celebrate. Man, it's Christmas. I said, man, it's Christmas. I said, it's Christmas, Daddy-o. Man, it's Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
All right, now we do have some voicemails this week, Andrews. We got a good batch, actually.
That was a long jingle.
It's festive.
It is very festive.
Hey, I don't control how fast the reindeers fly by. It's Santa's sleigh. You can't be in charge of these kinds of things.
Right? There's what? How many reindeer? 12?
Yeah, something like that.
And Rudolph? Or I don't know.
I mean, does anybody...
I don't remember anymore.
Come on, it's all
we almost have enough voicemails as reindeer.
That's true. We have some great voicemails. Let's play our first one from Adversary 17.
Hey guys, it's Adversary 17 once again. Long time no talk to. I have been listening though, so don't forget about me. I'm listening to episode 42 when you guys were asking about how do you solve the email spam problem, and one thing that I do pay for that helps is called Delete Me. What you do is you give them all your information, and then they will go around and delete you from all of the data brokers out there that have that information that matches. I've actually seen a significant decrease in the amount of spam calls, texts, and emails that I get. And there's family plans too, so you could have your spouse or your children or other family members that you want to help out. Also, I own a domain, so I use specific email addresses at that domain for specific websites so that I don't have a one email that every website gets. That way I can tell what service is selling my information.
That is nice.
Yep.
So if I have an email that says like Jupiter Broadcasting at adversary17.net, then I know, and I get a bunch of spam from that, then I know that, well, Mr. Chris, you've sold me off to those data brokers and we can't be friends anymore. But having a domain is kind of essential for that. If you use Gmail, the best thing you can do is create Gmail aliases, or you could use the plus aliasing method where you add a plus after your email address and then the website name. So if your email is angela@gmail.com, you could do Angela plus and then the website name.
Uh-oh. Cut off.
Did he continue?
Yeah, he does. He calls back. But before we continue, I agree with Magnolia Mayhem in the live chat. I have been inherently biased against Delete Me just because they advertise with so many YouTubers. And like that's my first threshold is this a scam? Is when a company goes all in on YouTube. As somebody who knows how the ad business works, they can buy that with these massive blanket purchases where there's been really no vetting by the YouTuber. And so it's just ripe for scammier types of services. So it makes me feel a lot better to hear a positive coverage of it. So that's good. I'm going to look into it a little more seriously. But yeah, Adversaries called back and continued because he needed more than 2 minutes.
Continuing where you cut me off at the 2 minutes. If you have an email, angela@gmail.com, you could do Angela plus and then the website name. So Angela plus JB@gmail.com, and Gmail will automatically create an alias for you that uses that. Or it might be the other way around, where you add the website name plus and then your email. I don't quite remember. I don't really use that feature, but it is an option. So you can create aliases with Gmail, and that way you can kind of see what companies are selling your information and where that spam is actually coming from. That way you can find what lists you're on, or maybe not do business with that company anymore since they seem to be more than happy to sell all of your email.
Or let them know they were compromised.
Anyway, to sum it up, plus aliasing with your email address or Delete Me.
So
both great options.
Yeah, those are good options.
These companies that are selling the data, though, if I verbally provide them my email address with that plus, they're going to know.
That is very true.
Like
I've also had, when you're just filling out on the web, I've had forms that reject the plus or the dot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but a lot of emails have the dot.
That's weird.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the strategies, though. And you can kind of stack some of these. You can do multiple, the domain stuff, the plus stuff, the Delete Me. Yeah, it could be a strategy there. All right, I think we got next is, I believe it was Dom called in from Southern Michigan.
Hey, it's your buddy Dom from Southern Michigan.
Yep.
Calling in to shout out to all the other Michigan listeners.
Hey, Michigan listeners.
And I had a question for you guys.
All right.
Am I the only one who hates making phone calls?
Nope.
I don't know. I guess I'm like an all or nothing guy. I'd rather either text or see you face to face. This whole, I can hear your voice, but I can't see your face. like, let me get all the body language or none of it. Am I the only one? I don't know. But either way, enjoy the show. Appreciate y'all. Hope you all have a blessed Feast of St. Nicholas coming up, and I hope you find something in your boot. Hopefully it's not any full. Hopefully an orange, something like that. But, I love it. Yeah. But I'll take care. Peace.
So, it was COVID that made me rethink phone calls. It's made me rethink the voicemail.
Yeah.
Because during COVID, all the normies got on video chat.
Yeah.
And it was so bad, 'cause like if you went to a family event and you couldn't make it to the other family event, you went from just like you only had to deal with one family to now you had to video call all the other families.
Right.
And everybody wants every single meeting I have. I have not had a meeting that was just a phone call with the exception of 2 probably in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And I just started missing the simplicity of just picking up a phone, dialing a number, and then somebody just answers. And it doesn't matter if I'm wearing, a tank top and underwear. It just, So I started liking that. And it's also just a little more efficient than texting. I don't do it much. But then that is sort of what led me into doing the voicemail thing.
Yeah.
So it was retro again.
Work was already pretty good about remote, Zoom meetings and stuff and etiquette. But then when the kids started distance learning, it was chaos. Like it was total chaos. So much noises, so much management. I ended up helping with, muting and stuff for some of the kids. And then the other thing, what was the other thing?
Dom, thank you for the call. It's, apparently made a big impact on Angie.
Oh, stop it. No, I had the migraine. I feel like I was awake all night.
We're together between me with the no sleep and you and the migraine. You probably, neither one of us.
Yeah.
This episode made possible by caffeine. Faraday Fedora is catching up with us.
Hey, Launch Crew, it's Faraday Fedora calling. Playing catch up on your guys' episodes.
Attaboy.
A few things behind on passing along messages. First off, happy belated birthday, Angela.
Ooh.
And Chris, there's no Sasquatch on Vancouver Island. And there's multiple reasons. If you ever want to go into it, give me a call.
Call me.
And then lastly, it's for the members. This next year, I'm canceling my membership with JB, but the only reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to get my node back up and running. I'm going to send in more boosts.
Hey!
So invite everyone to either pick up a membership. Now is a great time of year to do it. If not, get some more boosts in before the end of the year. We'll talk to you guys all later. Take care. Bye.
What a good guy, huh? He's a great guy.
He's a good guy.
He's a real good guy.
No, he's a great guy.
You remember?
Oh, okay. I do remember.
Okay, what was it?
So, and this is, it's funny, really.
All right.
I'm good with texting or phone calls, right?
Yeah.
I don't like leaving voicemails.
Oh, yeah. I hate leaving voicemails.
Yeah, no, I hate it. I would much rather just talk to somebody or text it. But usually in most situations, like especially professional, you have to leave a voicemail.
Do you know how many years I didn't even bother setting up my voicemail?
Yeah.
I mean, it might have been a decade. I don't know.
Yeah.
I finally kind of have like the most basic setup, and I hate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And by the way, my least favorite voicemail is, hey, it's so-and-so, call me back. Well, I already have a missed call.
Yeah, let me prepare
Tell
for
me
whatever
why.
it is. That you're calling
why
for.
did this escalate to a call over a text?
Yeah.
Just tell me that.
Yeah.
And then, just common decency.
Yep.
Thank you, Faraday. Mark from Northern Michigan calls in.
Hey, Chris and Angela. Mark from Northern Michigan calling at 8 o'clock on a Thursday evening. I just did something cool today. I listened to my very first bootleg version of the launch.
Oh.
Yay.
Awesome.
I became a member over Thanksgiving. That's what I did Thanksgiving.
We're thankful.
You were talking about turkeys and such, and I just want to thank you, Chris, for your recommendation last week.
All right.
I made turkey for us on Saturday because everyone canceled on us because we get snow dumped on us, but I made it. I watched the Alton Brown episode.
Nice.
I brined my turkey on Friday. I put it in about 9 a.m., took it about at 8 a.m., and baked it just like he said. Open covered it with a foil, basically did it the exact way he did it. Might have used some different spices. And my wife, my wonderful, amazing wife, who never eats white meat turkey because it's dry, gross, and disgusting.
Oh, my goodness.
Not only did she eat the turkey that I made, she had it for leftovers the next day and the next day and the next day.
What a score.
Thank you.
That's extra incredible because it dries, it does naturally just dry out over the days, but she kept at it.
Got to brine that bird. Good to hear it.
Brine that bird.
Another Brian Bird success story. Thank you, Mark. All right. Totally Not a Spook is calling in.
Hi, Chris and Angela. I don't want to say my name online, but I just want to let you know I'm a longtime listener since last with Brian and a longtime contributor and currently a Jupiter party member.
All right.
But anyways, I was catching up on the show and listened to the Flock show and realized that, we're kind of missing an opportunity with these. We should make the Flock cameras available to us to monitor our public servants, so we can tell make sure our officers and fire people and representatives aren't wasting our tax dollars.
Interesting.
Anyway, that's all I want to say.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can only be used for, these purposes.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
While we're at it, let's start feeding some of those police body cameras in, I believe a lot of government offices that I call are recording my phone calls. Let's hear those too. Let's put it all out there.
Everything.
Yeah. And you know what? Maybe, after all, the federal government tells me AI is so important, maybe we let a big AI look at it and tell us who's getting what done and who's not getting nothing done. You know what I mean? Like maybe somebody's just sitting around eating donuts. I'm not saying, but I'm saying maybe. I like that idea. And thank you for calling in, even though you didn't want to give out your name. We still like hearing from you. Sean, I think this was from North Carolina, called in. I know Sean called. I think he's from North Carolina. I think, right, Sean? Tell us. Maybe. Sean, you got this?
Hey, guys. This is Sean from North Carolina.
There it is.
I just wanted to give a little bit of a perspective on the penny going away thing. Interestingly, I'm military. I happen to be stationed overseas. And actually, for the past 15 to 20 years overseas, they haven't been losing pennies at military bases. They've been either rounding up or down to the nearest 5 cents.
Okay.
If you're using cash. So just a little bit of a perspective there. It all comes out equal in the end. So anyway, great show, guys. Thank you for your time.
So
it makes sense, I suppose.
I think, right after we recorded that episode and talked about it, I had gone to, I think, Burger King the next day, and they had a sign printed. Oh, no, it was Bartell's. I was picking up a prescription.
Yeah, penny shortage?
And it's, Yeah,
I saw one of those, too.
That's what they're calling it? A penny shortage? Because we stopped printing it 2 days ago?
I know.
Whoa!
I know. In fact, it's like something like how many pennies how many pennies are...
Well, it's because people keep gluing them to their floors.
There's that, or throwing them in... So there's about fountains. Roughly, on the high side, 300 billion pennies still in circulation, and on the low side, 240 billion pennies in circulation.
Okay, I was going to say, how many actually move? Right?
Yeah. This is according to data from the U.S. Mint. But they do note, as you just said, many are stranded in jars or forgotten in various places. Yeah.
How many couches have gone to the dump with pennies in them?
How many dryers?
A fortune.
Right?
A small fortune.
Yeah. All right. Well,
like $4.
Magnolia Mayhem went on a tear and called in. Woo!
Hey, Magnolia Mayhem. So to the thing about not letting people order unless they use the apps, I didn't have that, but I had a really similar, extremely annoying thing happen where our I say our local Domino's, but Domino's in general is pushing people towards their app. At least I think that's what's going on. But they changed from people in the store picking up the phone to a foreign call center. And it happened a couple of times, but I call, and it's somebody with a very, very thick accent, mispronounced the name of my hometown, and then refuses to. I was like, can I call the store? And she says, no, that this isn't the store, this is the store. I'm like, no, can you just put me through to the store, please? And she thought my address wasn't in their delivery center. It ended up that I had to just drive to the Domino's and order in person. And they told me they're using these call centers and they'll just send in the order over the internet.
Do not like.
And then we'll deliver out to that.
Wow.
But they gave me a certain number where I could call in, but it's just like, it was extremely frustrating. And really the part was they expect you to be so dumb that they go, no, we are actually your local Domino's in mispronunciation of the city name. And you're just supposed to be like, oh, okay. And not realize that anything's different. I've quit using Domino's since then for a very similar reason. So not quite order only on the app, but it's still pretty infuriating.
So if companies are always going to cut, you assume they're always going to cut costs. Would you rather have another country data center, outsourced call center thing like you were just talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have an AI voice assistant at the ordering thing, or would you rather be forced to use the app? Out of your three options
I would use the app.
I think the app.
I would absolutely use the app.
Yeah, I know, and I don't like having all these apps.
No.
But I think out of all of those options, I think
the OG that did this is post offices.
What do you mean?
You can't call post offices.
Oh,
yeah. And part of it is because they would have to answer so many stupid questions all day or day.
They don't get time or money for that.
It's so difficult to. You just have to go. You just have to go in and do it. Yep.
All right. Like I said, the mayhem tear continues. He calls back. I think this was the call that was answering the "don't do as I would do" question because he heard me tease it earlier.
Hey, it's Magnolia. I figured I'd call in since it's my day off. Just kidding. Getting called in again on my day off. Anyway, one thing that I wouldn't recommend other people do, but I do, and this is probably a really easy one, but run Linux phones. Like I want everyone in the world to be on something that's free and open source and freedom respecting and isn't negative in the freedom dimension or whatever, but the fact of the matter is that they're not ready. And so I guess to answer that question, running Linux phones is the thing that I do that I would recommend other people don't do.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
Here's to making that better and different one day. I don't know. How do you end a phone call?
It's negative in the freedom dimension.
I agree with you on that one. I agree with you. Although I don't recommend people do it either, though. But yeah. All right. So Mayhem attempted to boost.
I forgot to boost. Oh, boosty.
I just don't. I don't
you gotta
know.
clip that.
I don't know if that's how it works.
Boosty. That's how you should introduce Boost now. Magnolia's nailed it.
We should. Yeah, you're right.
Boosty. Boost.
And then our last call this week is from Friendly Editor Drew.
Wow.
Hey guys, this is Friendly Editor Drew. So this one time, my dad made my mom and I some chicken, and I was in like the second grade, and he put the chicken back on the platter, like he forgot to wash it in between. And so my mom and I both got salmonella. And yeah, I nearly died.
Whoa.
Bad died.
Oh.
Like, crawling to the bathroom. Weak.
That sucks.
Yeah, so lucky that I'm still here. All right, thanks guys. Bye.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that happened to Dia a couple
of years ago.
Yeah, the test turkey.
The test turkey got her.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
It was so bad. And so then when Thanksgiving Day came, she's like, do you have soap? Do you have soap that kills things?
Yeah, she's still very careful since then. That changed her whole game. Yeah. Wow. Woo! Well, I'm glad you're still here, Drew. And I'm glad we had all those voicemails. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate that. And it is time for some boost.
Boosty.
And we that's pretty good. I like
Full
that.
Score and 7 boosts to go.
And we're going to start with our baller booster this week. And it's Mr. R Podcast with 600,000 sats.
Hey, Rich Lobster!
Can you even believe it? It's a Christmas baller miracle. 600,000 sats?
Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Okay, I love that. I love that. So I hope we get more baller boost just so that we can hear that, because that was the perfect volume, the perfect hard rock guitar.
Our podcast inspires. Hello, Chris and Angela. My little guy was too shy to leave a voicemail, but one of these days I'll convince him. Would you consider making some fun swag for the show next year? If you do, you must put a tux penguin on there somewhere. Otherwise, my kid will hate me. The show has brought so much knowledge, laughs, and great music to my commutes. I hope the show keeps going in 2026.
Why do we have to wait till next year? No, just kidding.
We have been talking swag.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, because I previewed this, and I looked, and I can't find, on the service that we use, I cannot find a plate. Because wouldn't that be cool to have, or like the launch platter, right? You know, Brent?
That'd be so awesome. Get your launch plate.
Yeah, but I'm looking at some other options that are, eating related. But we will totally accept suggestions.
Yeah.
What kind of swag do you want?
Let us know. We'd love some ideas. We're very interested. We want to do something that's worth doing too at the same time.
Definitely.
Our podcast,
and
thank
a good
you so
quality,
much.
right? We're always about not just something that you're going to throw away or not use.
Yeah. Appreciate that, our podcast. Making it the holidays here for the launch. Picking up the slack. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Very generous. Doma comes in with 2,000 sats. And I'm going to say that's a pew-pew.
Coming in hot with the boo. Pew, pew, pew.
Forgot to ask who made these light timers with the tiny plastic pins you push in. It's 10 degrees outside. I'm having to fiddle with this thing because I can't find my Wise timer that refuses to stay connected to the network.
Oh, man.
Maybe it's just time to go Z-Wave. Could be. You know, every holiday light I deploy is attached to a smart plug. Smart plug for the Christmas tree, smart plug for the outdoor lights, smart plug for the lights we hang around anything. Smart plug. Smart plug, smart plug. And then I just run it all through Home Assistant, and then you can have a Christmas dashboard, which you can turn on and off. Chef's kiss. I recommend that, Doma, and thank you for the boost. Richard JRL comes in, right? You think I got that right?
Well, okay, so the previous one I would have said Deoma.
Deoma? Okay.
I mean, that's what I would say. This
you're
one,
probably right.
I was anticipating that you would say
Richard Jr.?
Richard IRL.
Oh, I almost said Richard Jr., but no. He came in with 10,000 sats. Greetings from the UK. Loving the launch for all the random car and RV updates that don't make it into self-hosted anymore. However, I just caught up on my massive LUP backlog, and to the point where I'm at Brent's purchasing of the Bang Bus.
Okay.
Having previously heard about it live on the launch when it actually happened, I have to ask, what's happened to it since? Is it gone very quiet? Is it parked outside Brent's cabin and suffering in the Canadian winter still with its dodgy window seals? Is it stored in that cow shed at your farm? Where in the world is Brent's Bang Bus now? And he said, by the way, for the longest time, I thought Traders Love the Vol was Traders Love Vol, which I found very confusing. No, it is the day traders, and they love themselves some volatility.
The traders love the vol.
And they call it vol. That's what they call it. I talked to Brent about this, and I suggested maybe he join us. Are you interested in a van update at all?
Yeah, I am curious too.
All right, so I'll invite him on the show, and he did give us an update on a Linux Unplugged bootleg recently, but there's been some very interesting and funny developments in the last couple of weeks with the van, and it is out in the Canadian winter. I'll leave it at that. That's where it's at.
So he's going to be on the launch
I'll invite him on. Yeah, I'm going to invite him on the launch.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Thank you, Richard. Appreciate that boost, and thanks for boosting from the UK. We don't get a ton of those these days. Turd Ferguson's back with 10,000 sats.
Turd Ferguson!
Now that the kids... we asked about Christmas traditions. Now that the kids have moved out, our Christmas tradition has changed quite a bit. We sleep in, we have brunch. It's nice. We watch a bad Christmas movie and have some very jolly sex and sometimes gifts. Sometimes gifts, huh?
Right.
So always the sex. Okay. That's good. Thank you, Turd. Appreciate that. And have a Merry Christmas. All right. Thank you, everybody who boosted in. We had 2 of you stream sats. We don't have a lot of sat streamers streaming sats as they listen, so if you want to get involved with that, you can. The 2 of you stacked 5,370 sats for the show. Appreciate that very much. And then when you combine that, of course, our podcast really brought up the lift here.
Yeah, geez.
Woo, doggy. We stacked a grand total, maybe close to a record for this show, 627,370 sats. Woo, 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 woo.
Can you play this much of it?
No.
No.
You can't. I'll get a letter.
All right.
It's funny. Just yesterday, I got half a dozen letters for 5-year-old episodes of Linux Unplugged. So they always come around and find me.
Goodness gracious.
I can do nothing right, and I can do absolutely nothing right, except maybe pick one hell of a winner.
Chris found a gem, an easy flip. Let's cash it in. It's barely standing, kinda scary, but potential's extraordinary. Just trust me, it's a winner. Just trust me, it's a winner.
The value on this one, it's really off the charts. I've always had a dream of a podcast called Compound, and this one's ready to go. Out of the box, $350,000, nestled in the mountains of Renfrew Valley.
Renfrew.
Thank you.
Renfrew.
Not only am I bad with pronunciations, but now my eyesight's getting bad too. It's in Kentucky. It's on just over 25 acres of land.
This all sounds good so far.
Features 10 cabins.
I mean, I don't think you read Colt Compound Ready to Go when you...
No.
I don't think you read that part, but okay, keep going.
Features 10 cabins, so you get cabins with them. There's a general store among them with a commercial kitchen and bathrooms. There's a trapper's cabin that was built in the 1700s. There's a church built in the 1800s with beautiful stained glass windows.
I love this.
Has a blacksmith shop, a post office, a corn crib, don't know what that is, a salt house, a schoolhouse, and a cowboy bunkhouse.
Okay, this is to recreate colonial times and wars.
Apparently, yeah.
Like,
or, a cult could live there. But that's my whole question, actually, is who is the customer? But it's kind of amazing. There's these standing log buildings.
Yeah, I want it.
That look amazing. And it's $350,000.
I want it. This is great.
It's crazy. You could have, you'd never have to
If
leave.
it was this Mount Vernon, I would go for it.
Yeah, isn't that something?
This is so cool.
I know, it's in Kentucky. That schoolhouse is something else, isn't it? Or the church, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they look like
neat.
they were built in the Old West.
Yeah, it's selling as a 1-bedroom, 1-bath.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
But there's 10 cabins.
First come, first serve when it comes to the cabins. When we announce compound days.
They're selling each cabin?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's the whole batch.
Thing. Yeah, okay.
I'm saying as we build the compound and we let the crew come pick their cabins,
right.
They better come quick because the good ones are going to go.
Have you been to the launch cabin?
Right.
Each show can have its own.
Yeah, why not? I mean, or, maybe you convert the church into a giant podcast studio.
Yes.
Could be pretty cool.
With a live audience.
Right.
There's already benches.
Blacksmith shop could be used for repairs when things break.
And all the electronics. It's an electronic shop.
Yep. I don't know what you use a corn crib for, but...
Why does it have to be a different Mount Vernon? That sucks. Which state is this?
Kentucky. That's why.
Kentucky. Yeah.
Because if it was here, it'd be $2 million. That's why. So, but this maybe a little bit. So if we're gonna move, maybe we should go far, right? You go even further.
Yeah.
This next one, it's a fortress, really. Now check this one. Brutalism isn't just for government buildings anymore. This one's a little more expensive, but you get a lot. Okay, $5.9 million. All right.
Yeah, right. Super affordable.
3 bedrooms, 4 bath, 5,300 square feet with 1,000 square foot finished basement. It sits on 555 acres in New York.
Was that half of New York?
No.
I'm just kidding.
It's quite a bit north of New York City, closer to Albany. It's in the Catskills Mountains.
Oh.
So it's a mountaintop estate.
Yeah, it is.
It has a private airstrip with 2 hangars. It also has a guest house of sorts, a stone cottage reminiscent of a hobbit house.
Oh.
And here's what they say, quote, allows a large variety of both permitted and special uses that would allow a fabulous palette of options for either private, compounds, or commercial endeavors. That sounds like us, Ange, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so if you want a compound, why not get one that's a giant cement structure? Because this entire thing is a brutalist cement structure. And it is nestled in the trees of these roly-poly mountains that they have over there. The downside, because I do like a good airstrip and a hobbit house, but the interior of this $6 million mansion,
bare bones,
it's got to be $2 million in repairs. I mean, it's really bad.
Yeah.
It's super uggo. How do you have a $6 million mansion?
Well, how do you keep people off the property? 550 acres?
Well, it's so large.
Or the airstrip?
550 acres is so large, they're going to die before they make it to your house. It's got like its own it's got its own private frontage road too. I mean, people buy this stuff. You get in and out. The easiest way is by airplane.
Yeah.
You can drive.
I want to see more of the Hobbit house.
I know.
There's only one picture that I could tell.
Hunter Valley, Catskill region. It's so interesting to have a beautiful property with all these buildings and this giant cement 5,300 square foot mansion, but then the inside is just totally garbage.
Mm-hmm.
How does that even happen? And it looks like the inside looks like the kitchen was maybe refurbished in 1967, just as 70s orange was coming into popularity. But I picture the type of person who's either buying this compound with the cabins or this compound here with an airstrip and 555 acres of mountain land. They're just living in a whole other world.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole other world.
Yep.
This is like rich people family escape.
What is their worry in life?
Get away from it all, right? Things go down. You fly to your brutalist $6 million mansion, I guess. I want to know who buys these things. The one with all the cabins is actually they're negotiating the price. Somebody might be buying it right now.
Nice.
This one, the Brutalist Mansion for $6 million, for some reason still for sale. Because you got to fly there to even go see it.
Right?
Man, if any of you out there living that life, just email in so we can get a little bit of on us, just so we get a little taste of it. Nothing too serious. But there you go, 2 options.
Mm-hmm.
Almost one was, you see that? I almost had a winner with that one it was just in the wrong Mount Vernon.
Yes.
Almost got there. Links in the show notes for those. In fact, all our links are over at weeklylaunch.rocks. And this was episode 45 of your weekly show. You can join us on a Tuesday because we do like to do the show live over at jblive.tv or in your podcasting 2.0 app of choice over at newpodcastapps.com. In those, you also not only get the live stream, you get a transcription and you get chapters. Plus, when the episode comes out, you get it within 90 seconds. And you can boost the show as well, depending on the app. A lot of great features in those 2.0 apps. Some of the older apps are starting to adopt them, not all of them. All right, that's it from us, from the beautiful Pacific Northwest and the mighty American West Coast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you right back here next week.